To talk about making money with bundles. How are you? I'm 1 week post cataract surgery. I'm still wearing these glasses just because they got a ring light here. Um, I do look like Tom Cruise. I get so many comments about it. I just thought I would acknowledge it, you know. And this is called my duckbill platypus hat. When I was in the sixth grade, everybody's supposed to draw an animal, and everybody drew chickens and cows and pigs. And I drew a duck bill platypus. Yeah, it's true. All right, so let's go ahead and hop into talking about today's topic. Oh, let me see if I can bring it. I don't even know if I can bring this up or not. Let me bring up our commercials. What do you know? It's freaking working today. Beautiful. If you go to marlonsnews.com, marlonsnews.com, /70K, you can get my free report, how I sold 70,000 products online. Results aren't typical. The average person does nothing. Your results will vary. A word from my lawyer. All right. And so then we have the second offer, and we'll get right into it, is a try mmm.pro/live. Get my newsletter for $1. And it's the best deal on the internet. First of all, I talk about the info product business. I talk about making money in any kind of a business. And I talk about making money as an affiliate. No one really covers these topics that much. Nobody hardly does newsletters anymore. There's a couple, but you have to pay, like Ben Settle, but you have to pay $100 a month for it, and it's one newsletter. I give you four, right? For less than half the money. All right, so those are the commercials. Let's go ahead and get back into the info today. Bundles. Now, making money with bundles. This is crazy to me. Freaking crazy. And I congratulate you if you made it this far in the video. You made it through 2 commercials. You're my kind of person. So here's the deal on this. It's interesting. For a lot of online businesses, December, depending on the kind of business, e-com would be Christmas would be great, but other kind of businesses, they struggle. Facebook ads become really expensive, and they really struggle. And yet, in the info product business, I've just done okay in December. I can't say I've done just spectacular. I haven't done bad. I've just done okay. Nothing to write home about. But I found out that there's someone that made. I'm trying to think. Can I even quote you the dollar amount? Yeah, I guess I can. They we're in this legal environment. We have to be careful what you say. Don't say that. Don't tell people that. Right? You talk about the number of products you sold, but don't talk about the dollars, the result, which is stupid to me, but whatever. I don't know the number of sales it was. I know the dollars were $250,000. Obviously, folks, that's not average and it's not typical. I don't know what else to say about it. It's by a person that's a professional marketer, really great at what they do. They've been at it for quite a long time. All the normal, typical disclaimers apply. So if you think you're going to go out and make $250,000 first time you do it, no. All right, you may never do it. I don't know. I have no idea who you are. So anyway, disclaimers out of the way. She did $250,000 doing a freaking Christmas bundle. Now, this really got my attention. I mean, that's a really significant amount of money. I don't do $250,000 on Christmas, December. No freaking way. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me! $250,000 selling a bundle. So it's like a bundle of 100 or 200 products that people contribute. And then they're sold. I don't even know how the whole thing works. I think they're sold for like $100 and you get all these products. And then there's a VIP upgrade where you get, I don't know what you get in the VIP upgrade. So this amazes me. I'm like, really? But like $250,000? I don't know how many products that is. I think that's like 5,000 or 6,000 products, maybe more, that are sold of those bundles. Well, you can kind of do the numbers. I don't know how much the VIP sells for. I don't know how many percent of the people take the VIP upgrade, but my goodness gracious. That's an amazing read. I mean, I've heard about bundles, people doing little bundle offers and stuff, and I thought, okay, they're making 10 or 20,000 or whatever. But wow, that's actually now let me also tell you what that takes. She starts preparation for it in July and starts soliciting people to be in the bundle like in July. And so it's a whole 6-month effort where she's lining up people, getting it all arranged. Like I don't even know everything, but I know in her group she's talking about it beginning in July. I'm not going to mention her name because apparently I don't know if this is true or not. I read one or two things from her that made me feel she doesn't like her name to be mentioned by other marketers. I don't know if that's true or not. But that's why I'm not mentioning her name is I think maybe she doesn't appreciate her like that unless it's like whatever. So, but she's a great marketer, works on it like 6 months, but still for December, that's an amazing offer to make in a bundle. Now it brings me to this question. What would happen if you had a New Year offer? If you had a, what is it? April is the beginning of summer. It's the beginning of summer's bundle, a summer bundle. New Year, January kick off the New Year bundle, a summer slump bundle. I mean, there are a lot of bundles out there you could do. Wow, you know what I'm saying? I mean, let's make sure we're on the same page here. There's a lot of bundles you could do, right? Um, I never paid attention to it, never thought about it, and so I think this is the interesting thing about our business and about kind of like there's a few legal problems that have gone on with a couple of people in our business that got in trouble, really big people, but they got in trouble because they didn't substantiate claims, made income claims, and had implied claims. Now, this is kind of the challenging thing about our business. If you told me she sold 6,000 bundles, it wouldn't mean the same, and let me tell you why. Now, if it was 6,000 bundles at $100 and 3,000 VIP upgrades at this amount, okay, I could do the math in my head myself. But why that would be more legal than saying, oh, $1,000? Why it would be more legal to say, oh, it was 6,000 products and this many upgrades when you can do the math yourself? I have no freaking idea. I'm not a lawyer. What I've read and heard. Right? But it's what's interesting is about my psychology. If you told me 6,000 bundles, I probably wouldn't think I wouldn't be I'd be like, "Well, that's a lot," but I wouldn't really think that. I'd be thinking, "Oh, she probably gave away 100% commission, so she didn't make anything. She had 6,000 people on her list. Okay, good for her." Right? But somehow when you hear the number, um, the amount of money she made, you go, wow. Right now, contextually, you have to understand she worked 6 months and maybe she starts lining it up before that. I mean, I assume as soon as the first bundle's done, she's already kind of soliciting people for the next bundle. But that's now, this is only a small portion of her income. I think she don't know her income this year, to be honest. I know that in 2020 she did 400,000. So I don't know this year. I mean, when you have a quarter of $1 million December, I'm assuming she's probably doing, I don't know. I don't know, but a lot because I know there's some 100,000 months mixed in there. Well, anyway, here's the whole reason I'm even talking about this at all is this. It's not to say you're going to go out and make a gazillion dollars. It's not it. The point is, if you need new people on your list, but also a way to make money that's something different than what you already do. I mean, if you want something that's got that different angle, that different edge on it, then this is something that you're like, okay. that's like a change up pitch to my list. And if I can make really good money with it, albeit not $250,000, but you can make whatever you can make. Maybe for you at 10,000, 5,000, $20,000 December would be great, right? Would be fantastic. Or January or July or whatever. I just think it's a really interesting offer that I've not made before, I've not thought about before, not considered before seriously. And yes, it's true. When I heard the dollar amounts, I paid attention. And if I heard the number of sales, I probably wouldn't have. And I guess that's jacked up psychology. I guess that says a lot about human beings. We can't even do math, I guess. I don't know. But that made me go, wow, I I should have been doing this probably in December, and I would have made multiples of what I made this December, right? I mean, I never thought about this before. Apparently, it's really good for list building too. Now, during the year, she participates in other people's bundles, which I believe also sets up her bundle offer because those people reciprocate by being in her bundle, I assume. So this is kind of like a whole business. It's a business model that's not just a December thing. I assume if you do it, you need to participate in other people's bundles offers, but I don't even understand how this deal works. Apparently, you get leads or customers from other people's bundles. I don't know. I assume when they buy the bundle, if they want your product, they got to opt into your list. So you get a certain percentage of those people are going to opt into your list and be on your list, right? So it's a list builder. The bottom line, it's a list builder, and you get the benefit of having all of these people out there mentioning your name. So I see we have some people on. Give me a shout out. Have you heard of these bundle deals? Have you been in one? Have you thought about doing them? Like again, I heard about them. I had no idea anyone was doing that much money from one, or even probably I guess that many units, number of units. I was just shocked by that. I'm thinking of the old giveaways, and people have been doing giveaways for years and years and years, and they would do like, you know, maybe in the old days 50 or 100,000, but now I don't think giveaways do that well. I mean, I don't know. I'm not in the giveaway thing, but they just kind of died. And I think you got small giveaways but you always got kind of like questionable people on your list because it was a giveaway. It was a freebie thing. So you got a lot of freebie seekers on your list. Now, this is different because apparently they have to buy the bundle. So you're not getting crappy freebie seekers on your list. You're getting actual buyers on your list. So that's a bit of a twist, if you ask me, right? I think it's an interesting list builder. Now, there's people out there with courses on how to do this. I don't know which ones are good, which ones are not. I mean, the one I saw was not cheap, meaning I think it was a grand, something like that. Now, the lady I'm referring to again, I can't mention her. I can mention, but I will not mention her name because I don't want to violate some informal whatever. Um, uh, but she has a product also, and the product I think it's probably $300 to $500 on how to do them. If you search around for bundles, you're going to run across these Christmas bundles. You're going to run across some products on how to do them and people who are doing them and the whole thing. Now, I do not, there's two things I think about this. Number one, I don't think, I've also read about people who participated in bundles, who didn't get a really good result from it. I dare say there's a lot of people or some people out there try to run bundles themselves who don't do that well with it or very well with it. They can't get people to participate. People don't mail for it. They're the only one mailing for it. All of the usual issues. So, like anything else in this business, there's a level of skill involved. Like some people launch an ebook and sell thousands and thousands and thousands. True story. Some people launch an ebook and they can't sell one to their mom. And so the difference is the level of skill. Well, I believe that's the way bundles are. There's a level of skill, and then there's what Napoleon Hill called specialized knowledge at Think and Grow Rich. And specialized knowledge is, like, because what a lot of people do is they just, so made sold 6,000 bundles at $100 each. They do the math. They're like, I'm going to go do a bundle offer, and they go out and they don't know what they're doing. They don't get the specialized knowledge. They don't buy any courses or training on it, or they buy the one out there for $9 or $10, if there is even one. And they're like, okay, I'm an expert. I'm going to do this. And then their bundle flops. And they're like, and then you see the post on a group. Don't do bundles. I did a bundle. It flopped. Bundles flop. Bundles suck. Well, it's not the vehicle. It's the actual skill of the person doing it, if that makes sense. Right? By the way, if you've listened this far, do me a favor. Go over here to trymmm.pro/live and pay $1 to subscribe to my newsletter, get a bunch of free, and you're gonna love it. If you like what I do here on these videos, these live streams, you're gonna love my newsletter. So because I talk about stuff like this in a way and topics and things nobody else really does. I mean, first of all, nobody else would come talk about bundles, but admit they don't know jack about them. Like everybody, they just try to be an expert. Oh, yes, bundles, blah, 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 blah. They don't even know jack about what they're talking about. Like, I don't know much about. I just saw this and I'm like, there's several opportunities. Number one, apparently you could make a lot of money if you do your own bundle and you do it really well and have specialized knowledge and execute it with precision over an extended period of time. Number two, by participating in bundles, you have the potential to build your list. I'm not participating in these, but I like the idea that people have to pay money to buy the bundle. So now they become a qualified customer when they join your list, right? Number three, I like the increased visibility because when everybody sees the sales letter, they see your name as being involved in the bundle. Number four, I may be wrong on this, but I'm going to make an assumption here. I'm guessing this is a little bit of a club of people that promote these bundles or in the bundles and so forth. And that the people who are in the bundles probably also do virtual summits. And probably, if you do a good job of promoting their bundle, they're probably going to invite you to do a virtual summit. Now, I'll be honest. I try to be as transparent as I can, unlike virtually every other teacher you'll run into this business. Not to pat myself on the back, it's just how it is. I should be doing virtual summits, either my own or being on other people's summits for sure. And I just haven't. It's really weird because I'll just tell you the way the business is, right? I'm just going to tell you, nobody else can tell you this, I don't think. When I was young, had a lot of more energy than I do now and everything. And, I spoke at 120 seminars around the world. I spoke at everybody's seminars. When you're the person that speaks at seminars and everything, everybody's going to invite you to the virtual summit. Everybody's going to want you to be in their bundle. In fact, it's just overwhelming. You just kind of check out of so much of that because money's just rolling in anyway. Because when you speak at seminars, you attract the good affiliates, right? And everybody has a different level of connection with you when they're at a live seminar. Now, virtual summits are the next best thing. You ain't got to travel, right? But what I'm trying to say is, when I was out on the road speaking, I knew everyone. Everyone knew me. Like at Christmas, just a ton of gifts would show up, right? You don't even know who's half the people are. Just people just send you stuff. This is just how it is, right? Now, I don't speak on the road anymore partially for health reasons, partially for other reasons. No, it's just that I have I don't really have heart problems. I have to take high blood pressure. I'm just scared. I'm scared having a heart attack if I go speak on a stage because I get really, really freaking excited. I don't know. In my old age, I'm like, I think I probably better not do that anymore. So, but virtual summits would be great. But I'm not in the inner circles like I used to be. Like, it used to be anyone knew my name and would pick up the phone if I called, right? And it's like, God, who was the guy? Uh, uh, I'm trying to remember. It's really a great story. The guy who had the show, Arsenio Hall. This is the best story. Sir Arsenio Hall said when he had his show, he could call anyone and they'd pick up the phone. Why? Because he had his show, right? Because he had a show. That's like being on stage. Even on being on a virtual summit, you're a bit of a celebrity, right? Now, when he didn't have a show any longer, he's like raising funds for some charity. And he like didn't do that well. It's like a TV reality thing. They're supposed to raise money for this charity. And they're like, Arsenio, you didn't do that good, I guess, for raising funds. How come? And he says, well, when I had my show, everybody answered my phone call. But now they don't answer, right? They don't answer. And so the point is, if you're on a virtual summit, you get a bit of that celebrity. If you're on a virtual summit, it's not the same. It's not as good as speaking in person. So there's nothing that compares with the bond you create with potential buyers when they see you speaking at a seminar live. I don't think there's anything else that can possibly compare to it. Having said that, the next best thing is probably being on a virtual summit, right? So, bundles and virtual summits, two things I don't do, two things I probably should have been doing, two things I know very precious little about how to do them currently. I'll learn. But I wanted to share it with you because if you're new to this business, or maybe you're in the business and you just are looking for something a little bit different, a little bit new, better way to promote yourself, a better way to get some visibility, maybe a new way to make money, bundles would be that. And if you're trying to increase that visibility, get the word out, everybody needs to have more people know about them. Never have been too many people know about you, for the most part. Then virtual summits are just something for you to think about, right? Now, I've not gone on Udemy. I imagine there's maybe something on Udemy about doing virtual summits and bundles. Now I prefer getting the really specialized information. Typically, people on Udemy, they may just make a whole bunch of courses. That doesn't mean they even know much about the course they're creating. I guess some do, some don't. But I like to go out and buy a more premium product by someone who really does it and really has the really spot on specialized knowledge, right? Because your best specialized knowledge is going to come from somebody who's done a lot of virtual summits or been on a lot of virtual summits or done a lot of bundles, or right, and so forth. Anyway, I hope this helps you. I hope if you get some ideas from this, let me know. Drop a comment. If you know about bundles, already knew about them, let me know. If you've done bundles or been in bundles, let me know how it worked for you. Same thing with virtual summits. You all have a great day. Thank you for joining me. My name is Marlon Sanders, and I'll be back tomorrow.